Hey guys, welcome back to the Mor I AM channel. I'm on my commute today, but okay, you guys ready for this? Okay, so I have had a recent transition, right? I kind of moved across the country just for the summer. I have an internship down south where I grew up. And with that, I've been so tempted or at risk for relapse, I guess. And I know God has freed me from my eating disorder and everything, and His truth still stands. That's why I love God, because He endures forever. Well, we love because He loved us first, and He is love, but He's still steadfast, and His truth is still the same. And it wasn't like I was trying to restrict or avoid or anything like that, but just in this transition, I'm also transitioning from my parents' house to feeding myself and making my own groceries. Like I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting well into adulthood, guys. That sounded so not like that, but I'm getting old. Let's put it like that. And like now it's time for me to start making my own groceries and live on my own a little bit. I am with the host home, but that's a whole other topic to talk about, because as a missionary, the type of work I'm doing, like Jesus talks about how, like, when He sent His disciples out, He talked about how you go into people's homes and the first thing you say, like, peace be to this house, basically. And like, whatever they feed you, eat. Don't ask, just eat. And then He says the laborer is worthy of his reward. In Corinthians, it talks about how Paul talks about, he goes on about how he's sowing these spiritual things, and how is he supposed to reap their carnal things, like food, like housing, like this. So instead, he works day and night, apparently. Like he's working, so that way, yes, the laborer is worthy of his reward. But he makes a point that he doesn't want to reap their carnal things, he wants to reap their spiritual things. So I had to come with peace to, like, how am I going to eat? It was bringing me back to Matthew 6. Like, every single time I see a bird, it's a reminder that God's got it. He cares for us. He knows. None of this is of shock or surprise to Him. He knows our needs. He knows that, we're on earth, and, the bread of life, like, He supplies, right? And me just learning that, like, the amount of times when I thought I needed groceries, and He's like, man, girl, I got you. Or I walk out of the store empty-handed because I couldn't find what I thought I needed or was looking for. Or, I don't know, like, I just was relying on my works. It's like everything else of God is good and perfect. So if it's not that, it's not of God. Like, that's a tail sign. You don't have to make shift. I think about faith, works, and belief. And I said belief is like what Abraham did whenever God told him that he would have a son. He believed. Okay. Works by itself is kind of like Ishmael. Like, he was like, all right, I know God said so, but let me try on my own effort to actually make this happen. That's our works. Our works doesn't save us all. Our works, that wasn't the descendant that God blessed him with. And then faith, like belief and works, like believing God, that's the basis of it. Believing God, but also acting according to, despite whatever He says and commands, that God is still true. That was like Isaac. Because how is he going to tell him to sacrifice his only son that he was supposed to descend? Like, that's believing despite anything. Like, Jesus, honestly. It's beautiful. But anyway, I was learning that, and yeah, even last night we had like a thing where God led me to the grocery store, and like just all the groceries that I forgot I even needed or wanted or any of that stuff, He led me to, and it was just perfect. And I was like, I was kind of in awe. I kind of walked out of the store with my jaw dropped a little bit, but I'm like, it's just a reminder He always does provide. But anyway,